a bit better.
Join me this week as I sail south to Misool and spend an amazing 3 weeks, totally alone and just enjoying life, stand-up paddling, snorkeling, ripping around in my dinghy and just taking in the breathtaking beauty. It's totally the most amazing place in the world by far. Enjoy! If you're interested in finding out about my journey so far, take a scroll through my sailing playlist. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to push the notifications bell so that you get an update whenever I upload a new video. Get up here in front of this little town called Segit.
Yeah. Yes.
Segit.
Yes.
These are my two homies here. They just went and got me all of these coconuts. And now I'm going to take them into their town, Segit, and have a look around.
Mister, hey, Eric, dong foto deh, Mister. Foto.
Go. Okay. Okay. Mama. Man. So in this little village, they obviously don't see many tourists. They're just not used to tourists or people like me. So they're very curious, but also very shy. So there's the whole village. All the kids have come down here to look, but if you point the camera at them, they mostly run away. That's pretty cool. I am rolling up into Misool right now. Misool is the southernmost part of Raja Ampat. I think there's 4 main islands of Raja Ampat with all the millions of small ones, but this is the 4th one. And this is my first time coming here. The last 4 or 5 months have been strong trade winds, and this is a bunch of tiny islands that are very exposed to the southeasterlies. So it's not really the time to come. The southeasterly sort of trade winds have just finished. Actually last week there was still some, but I hope they're gone now. And so I decided to come down here. I've only got 3 weeks left before the end of my season, so I'll only be spending 2 weeks here. But it's worthwhile. It just took me a day and a half to get down here. And having a beautiful sail. Mowed it a bit today, but mostly sailing. Saw some turtles and a whale, and pretty nice. Just enjoying sailing and reading, but I'll be filming some more sailing soon. Anyway, Misool, it's well known for it's got one big island, and then to the southeast of the main island are a massive cask beehive islands, thousands of them. Well, maybe not, maybe hundreds, but there's a lot. I'll show you on the map. You can see it here on the picture. I'm not expecting really to see many people, if any. There's a couple of villages on the island and maybe some rangers that do the rounds, but other than that it's not a real populated place. It's very remote. Anchorages, I don't really know. There's no real good charts. There's one place in here mentioned by the guidebook, and I actually have the waypoints for that someone gave me, but I didn't ask anything else because I like to find my own anchorages. I don't want to go just to the place everyone else goes. Apparently it's very deep here. You can't anchor in a lot of the spots. You have to end up tying fore and aft onto rock walls, which is pretty tricky when you're by yourself, because obviously I have to get out of this boat into my dinghy and take ropes and hope that this boat doesn't blow onto the rock wall while I'm doing it. So I've never done that before, so this could be tricky, but I'll figure it out somehow. I've got my ropes ready to go, and I'm just hoping that in these lagoons in between these cask islands that it's just dead calm. That's what I'm hoping. It's 2:30 now, so I've got about 4 hours until dark to find a spot, and that's all that was my plan the whole time. I timed it to get here at about this time. You know, you don't want to arrive at a new spot where you don't know about anchorages. You don't want to arrive there on dark. So I've got a few hours, and I've sort of looked on the satellite maps about, in a 5-mile sort of length of the island, and I think there's, well, I've seen 5 or 6 good options, but obviously you can't tell the depths that well on the satellite pictures. So yeah, we'll see. But I've got a few options, and one of them has to work. If all else fails, I'll just go offshore and sail around at night, but I don't think that'll be the case. Anyway, let's see what happens. Alright, I've made it into my first little fjord where I'm going to look for an anchorage. It's 40 meters deep here still. Yeah, this might be interesting. It's going to be real tough getting off the boat to tie up front and back. Interesting. Well, I've still got a couple hours. The thing is, at this time of the day, the sun's getting a bit lower, so I can only go away from the sun. I can only see into the water when I'm going away from the sun. Like this way, you can't see reef at all in the water, as you can probably see. Whereas this way, you can see some reef. So I started at this end of the island. I'm going to work my way that way, but as the sun gets lower, the worse it'll get. So yeah, pressure's on. Wow, look at how cool this is. This is Jurassic Park style. I've been into about 5 bays now, all too deep. I found one at 30 meters, which I could go back to, and one at 25 meters, but it was very narrow, and if the wind would happen to come the other way during the night, it would be bad. I got about 3 more that I've sort of marked out, but you still got a couple of hours. Still optimistic. Well, I got to find something. We're getting there. Okay, I found a spot. I put the anchor down. It's not ideal, like it's one of those, you sort of get the feeling like, yeah, if everything goes right, it should be good. I don't have much space on the side of me. As you can see over here, there's reef 2 meter deep. I don't want to hit that. There's reef behind me. Everything out that way is pretty good. And over this way as well, it's quite a distance from me. But my thinking is the wind is going to come down this way and down this way, not from the sides. There's big walls, so the boat's going to be straight up and down this fjord. So the fringing reef on the sides shouldn't be a problem in theory, but I won't sleep exactly super deep. I'll definitely be twitchy when, you know, if I feel wind changing and things like that. But right now, as it stands, it should be good. And there isn't a lot of wind, and there wasn't any forecasted for the next couple of days. So, oh wow, look at that. See up there? They're long-billed toucans. So cool, the wildlife here. Those toucans, they got like massive crazy wings because I guess they got so much weight out front. But they must mate for life. They always fly in pairs. But they're huge birds with a big, you know, like from the cartoon. It's just one of those anchorages where you're like, nah, wouldn't be my ideal choice, but it's 4:30 now. No, it's nearly 5 o'clock. It's getting hard to see in the water. So I said to myself the last one around, I said next time it goes under 30 meters deep and you have enough room, beggars can't be choosers, we'll go for it. It's time to cut this ugly thing off. I think I've been growing this for about 2 months now, and it's terrible. It's horrible. I'm the worst beard grower I know. So, time to go. That's a bit better.
So I spent a couple of days in this anchorage, but I was never really comfortable. I was never completely at ease leaving the boat there, to be honest, and sleeping. And you know, if you're worrying about your boat, you're not going to have a good time. So I jumped in the dinghy, filled up the fuel, and cruised around with that a bit, and ended up finding it, you know, just an amazing dream place. It meant tying up the boat front and back to the rock walls, which, you know, as I'd said before, is quite difficult. But going in there first with the dinghy and sorting it all out and actually tying some strops around the rope, so when I got there I could just lay the ropes out. And the morning I decided to go, there was no wind, so I felt it was a good risk to then have a really comfortable couple of weeks. So yeah, it was perfect. Keep watching till the end of the video to see how I got out of there again. Quite some hairy moments when, you know, by myself and trying to retrieve all the ropes and not let the boat blow away while I'm in my dinghy.
So I'm zooming around my dinghy exploring this area, and I found this little beach. Most beautiful little beach you could ever imagine, just incredible. And obviously locals have had the idea to build a homestay here. Looks like it was a while ago, concrete's all sort of broken and everything, but they put in foundations and they bought a lot of junk, a lot of rubbish, and then, I don't know, you see it a lot around here. Guess they ran out of money or something, but man, what a magical location. I mean, look at this. Very remote. There's a village about 10 miles away. The nearest city is Sorong, which is about a 6-hour speedboat ride. So beautiful, beautiful location, but I guess the logistics were too great. Getting tourists here would be the tough part. They would have to pay more to get here than what it would cost to stay here. And to bring in water and food and everything for them would be a bit of a nightmare. But if someone come here and build a real resort, you could charge thousands per night to stay here. But I'm glad they don't, because this is a magical part of the world. I just wish they hadn't bought all this crap here and left it here. Five minutes dinghy ride later and I found another little perfect beach. This place is incredible. Like, I've been in Raja Ampat for a year now and I've been consistently blown away, but down here in Misool, wow, there's no one here. It's the remotest part of Raja Ampat. I haven't seen anybody for 4 days. I just feel totally alone. I feel like I'm discovering things here. Obviously I'm not, because some of the beaches have footprints and things on them, but man, this is incredible. The water's clear. The coral and the diving here is really different than the northern Raja Ampat. Here it's all overhang, so it's all caves, and it's incredible. Stupidly, my GoPro got water in it yesterday. I think that's my third GoPro this year. Anybody out there who knows an action cam company that would love to sponsor me? Wow, I would be very stoked, because right now it's costing me a fortune. That and drones, and I'm going bloody bankrupt with this. But it's worth it. I love it. It's just, I would love to be able to show you under the water here, but next year I'll come back. Incredibly sharp rocks everywhere here. Have to be so careful. If I slip and arse over kite on it, oh, it's just a cheese grater. This is crazy limestone rock here. It's, I guess it's just worn by the weather, but it's incredible. Listen to the ocean breathing. She's just huffing and puffing like an old smoker. Just when I said I haven't seen anybody for ages, an old fisherman cruiser's passed on his putt-putt. I gave him a wave, but he's too shy to come and say hi, obviously. I would have thought he would have been hanging out for some conversation, but no, Just cruised on by. Probably wondering what the hell I'm doing on this beach. So I hiked up to a little cliff here. I was looking at it yesterday when I was sitting on the boat, and it's just in front of my boat. And it didn't look like impossible. I could have worn better shoes, I've only got flip-flops on, but pretty incredible. Just looking out here, can't see a single thing. Pretty cool. And look round, there's my boat back down there. Just in paradise, this is my little home. It's like, can't believe no one's here. This is one of the most incredible places in the world. And yeah, I'm just here by myself, just chilling. Just seems to be sort of selfish not to be sharing this, but I'm sharing it with you guys now. But believe me, it's not the same. It's as much as I can do to show you how incredible this is, it's just much better than that. You'll have to come and see for yourselves. Quit your day jobs, buy a boat and sail here. That would be my advice. I know that's probably impossible for most of you, but anyway, I hope you enjoy my view of it.
So before leaving, I sort of had a good think about it and got a bit of an order and a structure of what I wanted to do. Basically, I got the boat ready first, started the engine, made sure everything was put away, ready to go. Jumped in the dinghy, pulled myself down the stern line to the rocks, undid it, and I tried to do all this as quick as possible without really making mistakes. Drove back to the back of the boat, threw the rope in. I'd used all floating ropes for this, so I didn't worry about it going in the prop. Zipped as quick as I could up to the bow, went to the rocks there, untied it. Schiehallion had started drifting over towards the coral by this stage. Unfortunately, the drone had also sort of started drifting, so it sort of goes out of the picture a little bit. But anyway, I came back over. Instead of getting back aboard, I used the dinghy like a tug and pushed Schiehallion back into the middle of the channel a little bit before getting on board, tying the dinghy on, and backing Schiehallion back out, and then just leaving. It all worked out pretty good, and I sort of got out into a wider patch, and then I just put it in neutral and got everything put away, tied the dinghy on properly, and first time, first try, and it all worked out great. And I can improve for next time, but it's pretty sweet. Just not something you'd try when it's blowing 20 knots. Once again, a huge shout out to all my patrons. You guys are all a bunch of legends. So good having you aboard and reading your messages and your tips and props and all that. It's so good. It's all part of the deal, and I appreciate it so much. Anyone out there who really likes and appreciates the work I do to make these videos, for the price of a coffee every second week, you can support me. It goes a long way to getting these things out. Okay, see you all again in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.
Woof.